The Eagles are now 4-0 after defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-25. Score's a little deceiving though. All right, let me just start off by saying 4-0 is better than anything else. That's the most important thing. There are a lot of teams that would love to be 4-0 right now. The Birds are one of them. This game, however, is a lot like any Eagles game. It had issues, and we're going to have to talk about it. And at times it might sound like I'm talking about a loss, but I'm not. I'm talking about a win. The score being deceiving is because the Eagles ended up, and this was actually a very, very smart play. I'm an idiot. I'm a non-ball knower, and I'm sitting there late in the game, 6 seconds left. The Eagles have to punt, and I'm thinking that they're just going to punt the ball. And no, look, to his credit, like I've been a very critical person of Nick Sirianni. I don't think he's a very good coach, but he ends up telling Braden Mon to run out of the back of the end zone, take the safety, and kill clock, and they did. And it ended up working out. So really, the score was like 31-23, but with the safety at the very end of the game, 31-25. Eagles end up winning. That's the most important thing. Again, though, this was a game of two halves. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, good Eagles, bad Eagles, which Eagles is showing up. And I want to point out real quick that when we talk about the bad, and it's mainly the second half, we're really only talking about the offense. The defense played fairly well. Now, there were secondary issues, like Andrew Makuba showed the fact that he's a rookie. He bit, he got turned around, and ends up, resulting in a touchdown. Baker Mayfield ended up having a really nice throw to Bucky Irving on a long touchdown, where Bucky Irving was matched up on Jahad Campbell. And that wasn't a rookie mistake. It was just a linebacker on a running back, and Baker Mayfield did a really good job, as well as the Bucs offensive line did a really good job of protecting on that particular play and letting Baker throw the ball downfield. Those are the two big bombs that ended up getting Tampa kind of back into the game a little bit, because at this point, the Eagles were well in control. I mean, they were up, 23-3, 23-6, whatever it was. It was like last week, but the opposite. Instead of the Eagles being down and packing it in, the Eagles were up, and we were sitting, kicking back, enjoying life. And I was talking about a Lego game, which, if you're unaware, I coined the term the Lego game back in the 2023 season, when the Eagles were beating teams so badly they would pull their starters with 6 minutes left in the game. And my 3-year-old at the time, who loved Legos, I'd be like, grab the Legos, let's play Legos, which you would never do during an Eagles game because you're so invested, your blood pressure's up and all that. I didn't care at that point. They were dummying teams, and they were up, and the game was well in hand. So we coined the term the Lego game, and it was looking like this was going to be a Lego game, and then everything kind of fell apart a little bit. Now, the game starts out great with a blocked punt. So Michael Clay deserves a hell of a lot of credit, not just for last week, but it carried over to this week. They blocked the punt. They scored the touchdown. Awesome. Eagles ended up scoring on their first drive. I wasn't a huge fan of that particular play call because it was a shovel pass that was kind of parallel, and I just thought, man, if the defense snuffed that out, they would have been taking it to the house. But it worked. Dallas Goedert had 2 touchdowns, shovel passes, very close to the goal line. I think one thing I need to give, whether it be Kevin Batula or Nick Sirianni or whoever, I need to point out that they did a really good job with the tush push this particular week. Like the Saquon Barkley touchdown was set up by a fake tush push that now teams are going to have to game plan for, because in the back of their head they're going to go, yeah, they could run the push and we could try to stop it, and we're probably not going to be able to do that. Oh shit. Now they're faking us out and they're walking in for touchdowns. Awesome. So at this point, the offense is looking pretty good. Defense is also looking really good. Cooper DeJean played great this game. Was all over the field. Looked motivated. Which was a good thing, because I don't think Quinyon Mitchell had the best game necessarily. Like, he got away with a clear pass interference at one point. But he was still very good. Not to take that anything away from him. Like, he was still good. It just wasn't Quinyon Mitchell level good. But Cooper DeJean was great in this one. And when the offense wasn't playing up to the first half standard, the defense ended up coming up clutch when they needed to. There was the fumble recovery against Bucky Irving that I think his shin was probably down, but you couldn't find definitive video evidence. The Eagles lucked out in that, but they turned that into points on the board, and that was the Saquon Barkley touchdown. When it was late in the game and the Bucs are driving, and the Eagles' defensive line forces Baker Mayfield to scramble around, he just chucks it in the end zone, and boom, interception when you needed it most. The Eagles' defense came up clutch. Moro Jomo with the sack on second down that backed up the Bucs to third and 23. They end up getting 13 yards back, but now it's 4th and 10. You end up shutting them down, getting the ball back. That really ended up sealing the game right there. So when it mattered most, the Eagles defense came up big, and I think this was probably Vic Fangio's best game of so far this season. With all that said, now we need to move on to the negative. The negative really is just the fact that you don't know what you're getting any particular half with this team. The consistency is not there. They could look amazing, and then all of a sudden they look horrible. And to me, their offense looks a lot like Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola looks great for 3 innings, and then the 4th inning comes around, and he looks like the worst pitcher in baseball. And that's an issue. Not getting A.J. Brown involved 3 out of 4 weeks is an issue. Saquon Barkley, yet to have 100 yards through 4 weeks, is an issue. Tyler Steen, bad performance today. Looked bad. That's an issue. Devontae Smith, he's on the team apparently, but you don't really see him. That's an issue. Okay. So take all of those, right? Take the issues that I just mentioned. Saquon Barkley not looking like Saquon Barkley, not having a 100-yard game so far this season. A.J. Brown, 3 out of 4 games, hasn't really been involved in the game plan. Same thing with Devontae Smith. You see him here and there, but not really consistently. Take all of that. They're 4-0. So is that going to continue? The answer is no, it's not. You're not going to see for the entire season A.J. Brown not be a focal point in the offense. You're not going to see for the entire season every single team be able to bottle up Saquon Barkley. He's too good. You're not going to be able to see for the entire season that Devontae Smith will end up finishing a game with 3 catches for 30 yards. I don't know what he had in this game. But you're not going to see that this entire season. And the fact that they've been able to survive for a month of football with that going on, with this offense kind of trying to find their way, is a huge feather in the team's cap. It shows what kind of team this is. It shows how good this team is. And I think it's a big positive. I think back to the playoff game against the Packers. And if you remember that playoff game, there are a lot of Eagles fans were concerned. And you heard a very, very typical sentiment coming out of that game, which was, if they play like that next week, they're not going to win. And I said, okay, but let's break this down. You had a game where A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and I don't even know if Devontae Smith scored a touchdown in that game. You had a game with those 3, possibly 4 players not score a touchdown, and they won? Do you think that's going to happen again next week? No. The answer is no. No shot. And it didn't. And they won. And they won the Super Bowl. This is a good football team. They just need to find their way. At times, they need to get out of their own way. At times, in the second half is a prime example. They did not look good, but it's stuff you can clean up, stuff you can fix. Bad teams lose that game. Good teams hold on and win it. We saw a good team today. We saw a team hold on and win it. Was it pretty at the end? No, it wasn't, but it's a win. It's all that matters. The Eagles are 4-0. And now's the part where I beg you to subscribe. I need subscribers. I need to get off the pole. I'm out there twerking, and I'm not very flexible. So please subscribe to the channel. Hit thumbs up, hit thumbs down. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like with the Eagles this week. And what do you think is going to happen next week? All right, go Birds.